Hey race fans, it's race day top 5 with me, Frank 5. First Saturday night under the lights action on a short track in Richmond, Virginia. 3 wide on the restarts, tire management, and at long last, the streak of not winning at a short track in the Cups is over for the 2017 champ. Number 1, Martin Truex Jr. in his first official season with Joe Gibbs Racing instead of driving Gibbs satellite cars like he's been with Furniture Race the last few years, picked up his first win of the season last night, winning the Toyota Owners 400 at Richmond National Raceway, holding off Joey Logano, Clint Bowyer, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin. It's about time for Martin Truex Jr. that he won finally on a short track in the Cup Series. He's won on a short track in the Xfinity Series before. Bristol 04 driving for Junior Motorsports, as they were called back then, Chance 2, even though they were really a DEI car. But Martin Truex Jr. in the Cup Series over the last few years, it's just been hit or miss for him as far as the short tracks. He's had really good race cars, and 2 years ago in the fall at this track, he should have won, but a late race caution for literally no reason. There really was no reason for a caution at all because of Derek Cope being slow in the middle of 3 and 4. There really was no need for that. Truex ended up losing that race, especially on the last restart where he got wrecked by Denny Hamlin. Truex, this time around, had one of the best cars and best performances all year, because this 19 team and Truex, they're getting used to being a part of the official Joe Gibbs team instead of running satellite cars like they've been the last few years. But Truex Jr. pulled through last night, held off hard charges towards the end by Logano and Bowyer, and locked himself into the playoffs. I mean, no doubt about it, Martin Truex Jr. is going to make the playoffs regardless, and I knew he was going to win a race this season, but we're also kind of wondering, would his short track game improve over the mile and a half like they've been strong over the last few years? Well, it did last night, and I can't say enough. I'm so happy for Truex to finally break that streak. He was 0 for 80 coming into this race on short tracks, and now he's 1 for 81 on short tracks, so good job, Truex. Number 2, Joey Logano, who was kind of keeping up most of the night with Martin Truex Jr. and some of the other guys, was literally close to his bumper towards the end, and I kept thinking to myself, and I'm sure everybody else was, he's going to do the same thing he did to Truex in the Martinsville Fall race that sent him on to Homestead and win the championship. Put the bump and run. But he just couldn't do it. The car was just really loose off the corners, and Truex's car towards the end, it was not good either. But Logano literally gave everything he had, just not enough, but a good performance by the champ nonetheless. Number 3, Clint Bowyer, still searching for that first win of the season, gave Truex a run for his money towards the end before Logano took his chance. I thought Bowyer was at least going to do a bump and run too, but his car, it wasn't able to hit the bottom in the middle of the corners like Truex was when he arced it from 1 and 3 into turn 1 and 3 and was able to execute a perfect drive off of a 2 and 4. Bowyer really wasn't good at that. He was just trying to run the high side, and Truex saw what he was doing, so he ran his groove and hurt Bowyer's performance, and the car went away from him. A good performance by Clint Bowyer nonetheless, but he still is trying to search that little bit to put himself into victory circle this year. Number 4, Kyle Busch, who has been really good at short tracks and of course swept both races last year, looked to be the best car after winning stage 1. Then on the first pit stop on stage 2, it all went downhill for Kyle Busch as he was caught for speeding, and he rebounded to finish inside the top 10 in 8th place, but it wasn't enough. And people were wondering, did Kyle Busch have the best car last night? I don't think he did. I think it was Truex, because when he got on front, clean air is the perfect, it really benefits you. Kyle Busch being stuck back in all the dirty air killed the performance of the race car, and it just wasn't as good like it was out front leading the race. So, I mean, did Kyle have the best car at the beginning? Yes. Did he have the best car overall? No, I don't think so. I mean, you may have your opinions about it, but in my opinion, Truex had the best car. Kyle Busch really wasn't able to perform well, but Kyle Busch still continuing his streak of top 10s. He has yet to finish outside the top 10 this season. That may change in a few weeks, though. And number 5, short track racing. We all want more of it, don't we? We all want more short track racing. Last night's Richmond race, the restarts were fun, and the racing towards the end for the lead and the win was really awesome too. I mean, there could have been a little bit few more bumping moments like we saw in the Xfinity race the night before, because that was a pretty good race. But overall, I mean, 3 wide on the restarts and like passing mid-pack, it's so much fun. And Richmond's gotten really fun over the last few years. Back then, it used to be guys would just hook the bottom and stay there. Over the last few years, we've seen guys progress to at least the middle groove, which we're referring to the top. If you go way up top, on the marbles, you're pretty much going to lose 5-10 spots because literally no one goes up there unless if you have a problem or you get really loose and you have to catch the car back up. But the racing and the restarts last night was really good, and short track racing this year is not disappointed whatsoever. Martinsville's been good. I mean, Phoenix, you can kind of, ISM, you can count that as a short track. That was a good race too. Bristol obviously was a great race, and last night was a good race as well. So overall, short tracks are the biggest spectacles to watch this year other than the Daytona 500. Finally, Chase Elliott. I really felt like after last year's performance in Richmond, we would have a really good run, but we shot ourselves in the foot before the race even started. We failed pre-race inspection twice. We had our time disallowed and our car chief ejected. We ended up finishing 15th. That was the best we could do for the night. It's not bad, but we need this break coming up, and we got to get to work. And the Hendrick car's kind of do. The best Hendrick car was 12th with Jimmy Johnson, but a lot of work to be done for Chase Elliott. But or at least we're not on a bad luck streak like Kyle Larson is, because he's having horrendous luck right now, even with last night's crash. So 2 weeks from now, we go to Talladega, home of Earnhardt country, where the Earnhardts have succeeded in the past, and Jeff Gordon too. But obviously next week is Easter break, so enjoy your Easter holiday, and I'll see you in 2 weeks at Talladega. Subscribe and like, and congratulations to Truex on finally getting that first short track win. Happy Easter, everybody.